Hi boys and girls. This week we're talking about oceans and some more vocabulary related specifically to oceans. Our first word is salinity. If you have contacts, you probably use saline solution. Saline solution has some salt in it. Salinity is the measure of how salty water is, which varies, as you'll learn later on this week, depending on the depths and the temperatures and density of water in different places. Next word we have is called upwelling. Upwelling is a strange word. If this is the surface of the water, and here is the beach, like that, the beach is over here. Water that's farther down in the ocean has more nutrients in it. Upwelling is when the water that's from the deep down here rises up to the surface, bringing with it nutrients that are needed by living things here, closer to the surface of the ocean. Okay? Next word we have is estuary. An important thing to remember is that on our coast we have an estuary that's called Pamlico Sound. Pamlico Sound. An estuary is a unique area because it has brackish water, which is our next vocabulary word. But an estuary is where if you have rivers flowing down, this would be a river. And then on our coast we have the Outer Banks that aren't exactly like that, but the Atlantic Ocean's over here. The Atlantic Ocean. And the Atlantic Ocean goes toward, this is the Pamlico Sound right here. This is the mainland here. So the Pamlico Sound is in between the Atlantic Ocean and where the rivers come in. So the rivers come in and bring in fresh water, or water that doesn't have salt in it. The ocean brings water in that is salty. So the Pamlico Sound has brackish water. Brackish water just means water that is a mixture of fresh water and salt water. So, anyway, so that's estuary. Pamlico Sound is a huge estuary between the mainland and the Outer Banks. Very unique things grow there that don't grow other places because of the saline level. Okay, next word is potable. Some people call it potable. Either way you want to say it. Potable just means if water is potable, it means that water is safe to drink. Okay. Another word is very similar to what you've heard all your life. You've probably heard agriculture all your life. Agriculture deals with farming, growing of things such as trees, fruits, vegetables. But this is aquaculture. Aquaculture is when you do similar things, but you intentionally seek out something from water, whether it's animals or plants, that you're going to turn and sell for money. It's like commercial fishermen, shrimpers, other folks like that. That's aquaculture. We're revisiting a word that we've used just to make sure you remember it. Stewardship is a great word. Stewardship just means that you're taking care of the environment, being good stewards. The reason that the county requires our school to have a stormwater system is so that we'll be good stewards of our environment, so that we don't want pollutants coming from our parking lots or our school stormwater to invade those tributaries that run out to 10 Mile Creek, the Eno River, Falls Lake, down to the ocean. So we're being good stewards. So stewardship is taking care of the environment. Remote sensing. Remote just means not near the area. Remote sensing is the process that if you wanted to map out the bottom of the ocean, if this is the bottom of the ocean, if you wanted to map that out without having to go all the way down there, which is pretty dangerous, then you can use things like sonar, LiDAR, satellite imagery to actually map out what the bottom of the ocean looks like without having to go down there. Okay. That's done mostly if you're trying to map out a large section of the bottom of the ocean. Sometimes submersibles are sent down to look at just small areas. Our last word for this week is the photic zone. Photic zone, photo means picture or able to see. Photic zone. So if we're talking about the ocean again, the lovely Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, shines down on the ocean. There's a certain level down that the light will penetrate the water down to a certain level. This would be the photic zone. A certain area, depending on turbidity, all kind of different areas of how far light will go down. Down here is darkness. So the photic zone is just from the surface all the way down that light's able to penetrate is the photic zone. That's the ocean for this week.